Hey y'all, it is Giacomo. Good Sunday morning. Sorry, I look a little bit wackadoodle here and I've got the fro out. It's probably time for a haircut. I do have an audition today for a period film, so maybe I'm growing it out for that reason, or maybe I'm just being freaking lazy. Who knows? Hey, glad to see you again. Been a little slack on dropping videos. Again, I put more of my content, shorter form, of course, on TikTok, so follow me there as well if you like what I have to say. But you're not going to like what I have to say because here's what I have to say. It's going to make you really uncomfortable if you're thinking. And I always encourage people on TikTok, it's not illegal to think yet, but when they make it that way, whatever you do, don't follow in line and let these people do to you what they want to do to you, which they're already starting to do it, because some of you aren't thinking for yourselves, control you. You knew this was going to happen at some point. You know, Alex Jones, you gotta love him. He's an idiot, he's a weirdo, but he's a freaking prophet. He talked about FEMA camps. He talked about people being isolated against their will for something that wasn't a crime. Case in point, this is the text. I'm going to read just the preamble, or the summary that is. It's a really long bill, of course. New York, Bill A416. Did it have a preamble at all? Yeah. Relates to the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases that are potentially dangerous to the public health. Now, you can read this at www.newyorksenate.gov/legislation/bills/2021/small a416. Hope I made that clear enough. I'll print it in the description box if you need me to. But that's a really important thing to have to look at because, let me tell you something. New York State Assemblyman, look at the picture right now, he's a black man. The greatest way to get a bunch of people to go along with their own immolition is to put somebody that looks like them, that speaks the way that they do, someone they have entrusted authority to, in control of something like this. Now, in short, I'll let you read it for yourself, but it pretty much states what it is. That the government will have the power to remove you from society and put you in a detention camp because you have a communicable disease. This all came about by way of COVID, of course, a disease which every metric and every statistic has proven is no more than 99% survivable. Yes, 350,000 people have died in and around COVID. You know, again, and so if you didn't been up on the news just yet, only 6% has been ignored, unfortunately. Only 6% of those deaths, no matter how many stories about people dying, little kids, and I guess Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island died recently. She was 82. My grandmother was 83 when she died, and she had a cancer, but she was 83. What are you going to do at that age? A sneeze could kill somebody who's gotten to that age. I don't know what kind of shape she was in before, and of course they won't tell us at all. But if they keep pumping you with these analogies, if they keep pumping you with these stories, I had to stop following the Fox News feed because every story was some... And I hate to say, when people die for any reason, child or grown up, especially if it's of a disease, that's a really bad thing to have happen. I nearly lost my cousin on my dad's side to leukemia when he was 4, but he survived it. And leukemia damn near killed Mr. T, and it damn near killed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's a monster. A lot more people have died of leukemia than have died and will die of COVID. If we're talking the original strain of COVID, which has been around a lot longer before COVID-19 came around. But that being the case, someone, Assembly Member Perry, New York State, has decided that COVID is so deadly that we can now put you in a camp until you drop dead or take the vaccine or whatever other treatment they want to give you. And then, like a leper, as the lepers were required to leave the camp of Yisrael. Sorry, I didn't say shalom earlier to my Hebrews. As the lepers were required to leave the camp of Yisrael for 7 days and then go and present themselves to the high priest. And at that point, they would be declared clean and allowed to come back in. No, that is something that they did willingly. Now, little background, Rabbi Trail here. Leprosy that we think is leprosy, the skin disease that we've seen on people with, horrible skin deteriorations and necrosis and fingers falling off and whatnot, that's not biblical leprosy. I'll do a story on that at some point, but I don't want to get too far off track. The leprosy in the Bible, however, was a spiritual condition that had to do with rebellion. Now look it up, like I said, but look it up and look at my information, see if I'm right about this, but I've studied it before. When someone has a spiritual condition, they needed to be removed from the camp of Yisrael, and they didn't want that catching. Now, COVID, people are catching it. Very few people are dying from it specifically. Like I tried to say earlier, only 6% of the people that have had it, that have died from it, died exclusively from COVID. Most of them, 2.6 comorbidities on average, each person that's died from it. Am I being cold? Am I being an asshole? No, I'm sorry for the language. But what I'm saying is, this does not warrant the crisis they're making it out to be. And now they're talking about someone coming to your home, knocking on the door with rifles and spacesuits, like you can see on any B movie on Netflix or Hulu right about now, or Amazon, and taking you away, putting you in a camp, and forcing you to take a treatment so you can get better and be deemed acceptable to return to society. Boys and girls, please start thinking for yourselves. Please start watching what these people are doing. It's right in your faces, and you gotta stop going along with it. Because like the boiling frog metaphor, your rights are very slowly being taken away from you day by day by day by day, until maybe the next generation wakes up and they're not free at all. And they can't say anything against the government. They can't say anything against how they're being treated because the First Amendment's gone. And sure as shoot, nice metaphor, metaphor there for Giacomo, pun I should say. And sure as shooting, your Second Amendment rights will be taken away because having a gun kills children, right? Boys and girls, please wake up. Please start taking your elected officials to task. I can't say it any louder than that. Tell these people no. They govern because we consented to have them govern over us, not rule over us and put us in camps and make us take medications we don't want to. Boys and girls, I love you very much, and I can't wait for Yeshua Jesus to come back because he's got to settle all this really, really quickly. And when he does, a lot of the people that are proposing this nonsense are going to be taken to task forever. I'm Giacomo. Love you much. Shalom, shalom. Be well.